Guys, it's Chip Morrison from my Connect Pal account. What do I do? Michael P. the other day reached out to me and he said, Chip, how do I gain more self-confidence in my own personal ability? I know it's tough, Michael, to take a calculated risk on yourself. But for you to find new horizons, to experience new shores, you got to get off land and you got to take that chance. Now, I'm going to give you some great ways to help build that self-confidence, but first, let's take a thing called doubt in yourself and your abilities right off the table. And to do that, I want you to answer for me and yourself 3 very important questions. The first question is, what do you want? This is going to tell us that you actually have a direction, you have a focus where you want to go in life. It could be something a year, 3 years, 5 years down the road, but you do have a direction you want to go. You have goals that you want to achieve. The next question I want you to answer for yourself is, what is currently available to you? These are the people, the assets, the resources that either surround you now or that you can surround around yourself in a sphere of influence that can help you achieve and get to those goals that you want in life. And the third question I want you to answer for yourself is, what do you lack or need? What are the things, the additional guidance, the additional resources that you're going to need to achieve those goals? And that also addresses sometimes some of the weaknesses and current limitations that you may have. Remember, they're current, okay? In the long scheme of things, you'll be able to overcome those weaknesses and overcome your limitations. But right now, it's important at least to know what we have on the table that we got to deal with. Okay, now let's get to 11 very specific things that you can do to achieve confidence in yourself and your abilities. First and foremost, I want you to have small wins first. I want you to take the greatest fear that you have and I want you to immediately overcome it. I don't care whether it's fear of elevators, fear of flying. In my case, it was fear of sand traps on the golf course. When you can conquer that, there's a little extra bounce that goes in your step. You'll overcome adversity with great pride and you'll smile just a little bit brighter. So after you've had some small wins, the next thing I want you to do is I want you to hit and achieve daily, weekly, and monthly goals. Yeah, it's great we got goals in a year, 3 years, 5 years down the road, but we need to do something every day to have a win, every week to have a win, every month to have certain specific wins. When I look at daily tasks, going back to golf, comparing it to that analogy, it's like me hitting a specific shot for a specific outcome that I want to happen. It may mean that I'm 150 yards from the hole. I'm going to hit a 7-iron, and my immediate goal, that task at that moment, that daily task, is to hit that shot within birdie range distance of that pin. Then I look at the weekly situation. The weekly situation is a sum total of what you've done in terms of those 7 daily events. In this case, back to golf, we don't play against other players, we play against the course. Therefore, if we're out to shoot par, once we shoot par, we know the course and I are even. If we go under par on a hole, we're beating the course. If we go over par on a particular hole, the course is beating up. At the end of the day, we add up all 18 holes that we've played, and either we've beat the course or it's beat us. If you do it enough, once a week for 4 consecutive weeks, you may see a pattern going on here. And you may have won 3 out of 4 times that you've attempted to beat the course. That's what I mean by daily tasks, weekly wins, and monthly results. Those are important to help get you on the path of personal self-confidence, and again, to give you a little more bounce in that step. The next thing you need to understand, Michael, is you need to get away from everybody, and you need, if you have to go it alone. The masses that you surround yourself with will only hold you back. Parents, friends, family, they're well-meaning, but they're going to hold you back. Because you have a direction you want to go, they have a direction that they want you to go with them. Therefore, you're going to have to not be afraid to stick your neck out and to go in a different direction. And sooner or later, somebody's going to say, hey, where's that guy? Where's Michael going? And some people will actually turn around and follow you. The next thing you need to do is you need to know that if you work at home, or you're a small business person, you work in a cubicle or small office that you rent by the month, you need to get out and circulate to percolate. That's what my mother used to say. Meet people face to face, belly to belly. Those of you that are married out there, I guarantee you didn't propose to your wife or significant other over the phone or over the internet. You did it in person. You need to get out there too. It will again add a little more bounce in your step when you have an ability to sell somebody else on your ideas, your concept, your vision, hey, or even you. Then I want you to change, Michael, your attitude about failure. You know, some people look at Edison and they say he failed 10,000 times to find the incandescent filament for a light bulb. When you ask Edison that, he goes, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I just found one way to make it work. He had a different attitude about what other people saw as his failure. You need to also understand that, you know, you're not giving people enough information yet to say yes. Selling is a percentage game. The better you become at it, you know, the harder you work at it, then you have the ability to be smarter. You have the ability to have a greater conversion rate with those that you surround yourself with. The next thing you need to do is you need to give yourself more at-bats to increase that opportunity for success. Everybody knows that Hank Aaron was one of the greatest all-time home run hitters in the world. But he was also the greatest strikeout king ever. Because when he went to bat, he swung away every time as if he was going to hit that ball or not. You need to have more at-bats. When you have more at-bats, your percentages over time are going to get better. Colonel Sanders, 60-some-odd years old, had a great fried chicken recipe. He just needed more at-bats to talk to more people until he got somebody to invest in him. Another thing you need to learn how to do, Michael, is learn to laugh at yourself. Quit taking life so seriously. Everything is normal. Things are going to not go your way. I look at those things and go, hey, hot dog, everything's normal. Because it is. My hair, I have hair, as opposed to a lot of people that don't. People make fun of my hair. I make fun of my hair, but at least I have some. I used to tell people who would say, don't you ever want to ever have somebody mess it up? I go, yeah, you can mess it up for $100. I'll let you run your hands through it. Hey, if you're good at something, why not make money at it? Sometimes I tell people, I said, I've got a contract with Unilever, and every time a new roller coaster's invented in this world, they send me to ride on. And if my hair moves, they rechange the formula of the hairspray that I use. Have fun with it. I don't take life so seriously, and neither should you. I want you also, Michael, to relax your standards and go with the flow. Strive for excellence at what you do, not perfection. Because I love to play golf, I know that I can only afford to play golf and practice golf once or twice a week. Therefore, the outcome that I have for myself is different than shooting par golf all the time. I know if I go to a golf course and I have a round of 70 or the low 80s, I'm comfortable with that. That is an expectation that I feel good about. It's not perfection. It would be perfection if I were a professional golfer and I played every single week, but hey, they have to loosen up on their own standards as well. And you have to understand too that when you relax and go with the flow, when you're pushing against a river, try going with it for once. When you've got a rock that you're pushing uphill, let the boulder go. you might be surprised at the outcome. Some people think that airplanes fly from point A to point B. They don't. They go from one place to another and get there, but there's a lot of small changes and corrections due to weather and wind that affect the direction of that airplane. There's a lot of changes that you'll have to make in your life too. Small corrections to get where you want to be. That's why go with the flow every now and then. Outcome really will amaze you. The next thing you need to learn how to take charge and not be afraid to stick your neck out. If you go into a bar and you want to get lucky, start right up front, because what's left over, you wouldn't want to be with anyway. Believe me, the other parties in there are thinking the same thing too. You've got to have that let's get it done attitude. Let's get it done now. Which brings me to my next point. Put the blinders on and run the race that you were designed to win. You know, racehorses have blinders. The blinders are designed to keep them from seeing who's on the right or who's on the left or even who's behind them. Because the only thing that matters is not beating the horse that might be in front of them, but to beating the time on the racetrack, to have the best time on the racetrack. That's our focus. That's our direction. You need to be focused on that as well. And when we talk about focus, an important thing that you need to understand too, Michael, is whatever your mind focuses on, it tends to expand. If you focus on bad things in your life, guess what? More bad things are going to happen. You focus on the bad things in relationships, more bad things are going to happen. But if you focus on the good, there's a lot more good that comes your way. And the last thing I want you to do is when you begin to achieve those goals, when you have, say, for 3 or 4 months, consistently achieved the goals that you have set, I want you to raise the bar just a little. Maybe if you were achieving $30,000 a month and now suddenly you raise the bar to $31,000 or maybe even $32,000 a month. Just enough so that you stretch yourself just a little bit more. Why is this important? If you go to the gym to exercise and continually do the same things, the same exercises over and over and over again, what you're doing is maintaining the status quo. You're maintaining the muscle mass that you currently have. But if you go in and you do 10 more sit-ups or 10 more push-ups or 10 more pull-ups, what you're doing then is building new muscle. Hey, Michael and subscribers, if you will follow some of these concepts that I've given you today, I guarantee you will increase the personal self-confidence that you have in yourself and your abilities, and you'll thank me in the long run. Hey, my time's up today. Thanks, guys, yet again, for yours.